How many of you guys have a signature at the very bottom where it says, hey, let's see, everybody's got them? Okay. How many of you use your signatures for things other than just your name, everything else? So a couple of hands. So here's a monstrous benefit that you can use in Outlook. So imagine that you log in to where you would normally set up your name, but say you want to have a second version of your name to where it says, you know, Jim Schnyder at PepsiCo, Jim Schnyder at Frito-Lay. Well, what I also have the ability of doing is when I go in, I can choose which signature I want to show up, right? And Outlook lets you do that when you go up to, you know, signature. Well, one thing that I realized a long time ago was that what if I were to cut and paste my rejection letter to a candidate into that signature? Because I'm like, hey, I would have to go into Word, and I would have to then, look it up, and I'd have to modify it, and then cut and paste it, either attach it to an email or whatever. Well, what I did was I put a reject letter. I do it for college. I do it for everything. In there actually is a signature. So you put it in there. It's already, the text is there. Then all you have to do is modify hello so-and-so, and there's the info. I actually found that I had a lot of success with using this for kind of a pre-screen. Like I would email a questionnaire to a candidate. So I don't know what your techniques or how you use this. I'll show you something with my targeted mailer technique that I use. But what I would do is I would actually set up a way to where I could have a targeted mailer go out to a candidate. They would actually reply if they were interested in a role, a job. The email would come back to me. I could then have this signature email go right back out to them that would contain these questions that were my pre-screen questions, that if I don't have the right answers to these, I don't even want to talk to the candidate kind of thing, or I would send them back a decline letter, sorry, you don't meet the minimum qualifications. So you can do all this stuff with signatures back and forth. So real quick thing that I found that you can tailor them as needed. So any questions on that?
So when you have to go in and change the signature usage.
No.
Or is there a, I don't think, is there a drop down to choose per email? Usually
where it is if I'll do this off the top of my head, but I think it's under actions. Hang on, it's under tools.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm on the wrong one. It's usually under, and maybe down a little bit further. But if I remember, it's under actions, tools, options, maybe like signatures or something like that. But look it up in the system.
So you put your whole message in the signature.
Yeah, I get that.
And then you call it something else, like a reject letter or something.
Right. Yeah. So what I do is I'll have my one out there that I use on all my emails. But when it comes time that I want to have a signature that's a reject letter, I'll go out and I'll say, signature reject letter. So it'll be, hey, thanks, Jim Schnyder, all this stuff, and then the signature will come in at the bottom of this. I'll just delete out the top stuff, and then I've got my stuff right there. And I actually at one time, one of the most painful things that happened to me recently, and maybe some of this has happened to you, is that your PC crashes and they have to do a reload. I lost all my signatures and it was horrible. So luckily we were doing an ATS upload of different messages, so I had a bunch in there that were saved somewhere. But rules, I want to cover off on that as well. This is where you can use event-driven triggers. How many people are using rules today in Outlook? Okay, I would tell you, rules are your big friend. Spam, I use rules to get rid of spam. So spam comes in, hey, I don't really want, I signed up one time for this golf, I don't know what it is, anybody get this one? All these golf ones that come in. Well, you have the ability of putting this folder on your inbox or under, on your Outlook on the left-hand side that says golf. And then you can actually go in, and when you get an email from there, you can actually go up and say Rules Wizard, and you can actually say, what do you want to happen if this comes in from this email address? Again, the rule will make it go into, you can say go into this folder when this comes into my inbox. I don't ever want to see it. Well, the thing that you can also do that's very beneficial about the rules is, let's say that you have a job ID number or a campaign number that you're working on. Well, you have the ability then of spinning that into a rule, and you could not have it go into a folder. You can have alerts that pop up. So At one time, I actually had this thing that would say, if I got an email that would say with this job code or this campaign code that I was doing, where I was looking for a very, very tough to fill person, I would have a sound that would play, it would pop up in front of me, there would be this alert box that would pop up, it would do the ta-da, that sound from the computer. And so I would immediately be able to know. I'm big into these, like, you know, in a car, you know, when you run out of gas, the dummy light that comes on. Anywhere where you can find that kind of stuff, I would say rules can be your friend. You can have it be alerts. You can have it actually, if it comes in with that job ID or campaign ID, you can automatically send them back an email. You can script out what you want that email to look like. You can have it then go back and forth. It's very similar to the concept of an out-of-office alert. So you're just setting up, instead of your rule being out-of-office alert, it would be if something comes in, it goes back looking like this. So it's a very beneficial way that I found to save some time. Tasks, I'm not going to go into this too much, but I would just tell you, as a recruiter, you guys know that you need to guard your mornings and guard your afternoons, because you're having to sometimes, you know, look at what happened overnight and then screen candidates a lot of times in the afternoon or evening. So to-do lists, post-it notes on the fly, use your, you know, whatever. But I would just tell